Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to episode number 23 of Let's Play Kingdom Hearts. This is the End of the World Part 2. There'll be one episode after this, and then we'll be done with this Let's Play. Sorry if I seem a little bit sporadic or all over the place during this episode. Supposed to go and meet some friends, go out and have some drinks, and, one of them didn't show, so started drinking without them, and then they showed up late, and it just became a long, long night. But here you can see, we have to go through these gambit of stairwells, or little beams going into the sky, and they take us through all of the previous worlds that we were through, along with some of the Heartless we can recognize from that world almost exclusively or specifically, along with like some of just the generic end of the world Heartless. So it is cool. I would say it's a little tedious, but it's also nice because, like I said before, we are pretty under-leveled. You'll see here in a moment that it actually pays off to know how some of the bosses work here in the end game. I'll state specifically when that is, because like we could just breeze through some of these end game hard bosses. Whereas if we didn't know how they work, maybe we would take our time and not do that, but yeah, we're doing pretty solid right now in the game. Even though we're under leveled, I'm very aware of like the layout of these Heartless and things like that, and I mean honestly it's impressive that I remembered as much as I did of this world from when I was, I don't know, maybe like 17, 18 years old. I was not expecting to be like as familiar with the end of the world as I am, which means that like being underleveled really isn't a problem. Like we can still readily deal with all these guys. I think almost every end of the world section has like a chest like that where we can pick up a useful item. One or two areas I can't really find it. But like I said, it's not like we're going through and doing post-game stuff. Open the soda pop here. Yeah, so because we're not going through and doing post-game stuff, it's not as pivotal to go through all these sections and get all the chests, but yeah, like I said, I want to, because like I said, I don't plan to 100% the game, but I also don't want to slough off anything that we could easily get, so you know, that's just my take on it. Other people, I could see them saying this is a complete waste of time, like this whole section. But like I said, I want to complete it to the best of my abilities, and I don't want to cut any of it out because it's all very vital to the overall game. Like, how the game is supposed to work is what we're doing right now. That being said, there will be one episode left of this series. It's going to be a rather long episode, maybe about 45 minutes to an hour in length, just because it is the final episode. You know, there's a lot of cutscenes, there's a lot of boss battle, there's just a whole slew. It's one thing that this game does not shy away from. The final boss battle is going to take us about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how we do it. So, it does not shy away from any of that nonsense. You know, that's all part of this game. And, yeah, I mean, it's cool, it's cinematic, there's a lot of stuff going on, it's very challenging, so I'm very excited to do that. And then once we're completed with that, we'll be moving right on to Pokemon Leaf Green. I'm a little bit ahead, but it looks like I'm gonna have to go out of the state out of anywhere that I could record, realistically, for some of my work obligations here, but, yeah, we'll continue to work on that, and, you know, hopefully us being ahead means that, like, there's no setbacks in videos coming out. I was gonna switch to, like, a Monday, Wednesday, Friday approach for Pokemon Leaf Green, because it's a Nuzlocke, it's my first ever doing it, but I think I'm gonna stick to Tuesday, Thursday, just out of, like I said, there's a lot of uncertainties right now about, location and stuff like that with work, so it'll be a different time. Things will be a little bit different, and I'm sure I'll get the feel of it eventually, but as of now, I'm fairly uncertain as to what that situation looks like, so I don't want to start posting things Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then get discouraged because I'm not meeting the deadline. So I'm going to stick to this Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday deal. Plus, I feel like it's good, right? Like, we want to get things done, like each game in 2 months. I feel like Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday has been like adequately paced. Like, this is coming out towards the end of the month here. You know, maybe we're running a little bit ahead of schedule, but I'd rather run a little bit ahead of schedule than slightly behind. I'd rather be, yeah, a few weeks ahead than even one episode behind. So, you know, I think that's going to be the best path here moving forward. But like I said, we'll take it as we go. You know, if you see episodes coming out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you know, it just means that that transition period is going extremely well and there's no concerns. But I think Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday is going to be the regular upload schedule for the time being, at least until like October. I know that's a bummer on my end, but, and you know, that's not to say maybe I won't be able to work on some of like the extra videos and stuff, and maybe they won't be as polished, but as far as like Let's Plays go, that's going to be the schedule for the time being. I hope everybody out there is having a fantastic week. Everybody's doing well. I know that was a lot to lay on in a Let's Play episode for sure. But now we are moving on, I believe, to the jungle. Deep jungle, yep. Take out some of these little monkey guys. These guys are annoying. Not as much as like their female counterpart. I know, I'm not supposed to gender things nowadays, but that's really what it appears to be, right? Like that's the difference here. Just looking at them. Just probably a controversial take, but I don't care. I'll deal with it. So yeah, it's these guys aren't too bad. You know, once you get their pattern down, there's no difficulty unless you're Donald, I guess, and then you're just dead. But Donald and Goofy, in all respects, just rush into every battle. Like that's what they do. You know, like that's what they've done since the beginning of the game. That's what they'll continue to do till the end of the game. They're just known for doing that. We want to make sure we get all these female ones out of the way because they could hit us from a distance with that thing right there, which is annoying as all shit, and it's really tough to avoid. So we might as well just pin them in a corner and beat them to death. That's the best you could do. Plus, in a lot of situations, you lose money from them. Like, they'll throw banana peels and stuff on the ground. If you step on them, you lose all your money that you're holding, which we don't want to happen right now because we need all that money going into the end of the game in case we want to buy any additional items. As I said, I'm right here at the end of the game, so I know we don't. But if we did, right, that could be a huge setback, so it's good to deal with all that shit now. Get them out of the way just in case. We won't need any items just because I stocked up on a ton of items prior to this world. Like, I think I had like 30 max potions, or 30 high potions, something like that. A ton of ethers, a ton of elixirs. Anything that wasn't mega, I didn't give to myself. And I'm trying very hard not to use the items I gave to myself. Because, like, all that stuff is going to be pivotal here in the last couple fights. Like, if we don't have it, we're completely screwed. If we do have it, we're in good shape. That's really how it's going to go. But here we are, we're going through Agrabah now. And if you don't want to go through all these battles, I'm not going to put a cutscene, like, where you could skip to. But I think around the 20-minute mark should be fair enough. You know, probably about 10 more minutes of this stuff. But you could just walk in and out of these zones. And in fact, you don't even need to walk through the zones. Like, you could just walk to the other section. But like I said, for myself, it was more about getting as much EXP, getting as much money, getting as many items and stuff like that as humanly possible. Because this endgame, the final boss in this game, Ansem, I'm sure you can guess if you've watched up until this point, is hard as shit. He's extremely difficult to beat, and like I said, it's like a 30-minute battle. No breaks in between, no times to restore health, anything like that. Like, you just have to know how he battles and have the adequate items to be able to deal with him for like 30 minutes straight. And because of that, it becomes pivotal that you have like the best layout possible. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, you really need to think through your stuff in order to have like the best of the best. And if you don't have the best of the best, you're completely and entirely screwed. Because some of his boss battle stuff that he pulls is just upright and utter bullshit. I mean, in all fairness, I get why they made him substantially harder than every other boss, right? He is the final boss. But, like, in comparison to the boss we fight before him, the boss we fight before him is a literal joke. You'll see me walk through him in, like, a minute. It's not even comparable. Like, how bad Ansem is compared to the other bosses. Ansem is just ridiculously challenging. With that being said, let's go ahead out here and leave Agrabah. Like I said, sorry if I'm a little sporadic with my thoughts. Definitely had one too many soda pops for the time being, but that never stops me from doing a good old audio recording on top of these videos. Now we're in Atlantica, which, if you've watched this series at all, you'll know is by far my favorite world of all time. I love the dynamics. How it just throws you in here with no, I'm not even gonna go on about it, because that whole episode I just flipped out for like the entirety of the episode. So I don't want to do that again. And for the sake of not doing that again, I'm just gonna get through this. Oh, there was an item there. I want that item. Whatever that item was, I want it. I know it probably wasn't extremely valuable, but I want it. I think I go when I find it here in a minute. Yeah, there it is. It's floating. Which is good. It means it's probably going to be there in a minute. You can see I'm picking up like small items here, like ethers and stuff like that. All the other items that I pick up are really for synthesis, but like some of like the small stuff we could sell for good money, and then, you know, like potions, ethers, stuff like that, we could give to Donald and Goofy as we're traversing through these worlds, so that way they can handle themselves. But at the same point in time, we're not getting rid of like the actual good items that I spent shitloads of money on. So always a positive. Halloween Town. Oh, this is cool. We haven't been to Halloween Town in a hot minute. I mean, we were for grinding, but for me that feels like a long time. I shot that grinding episode before I went on vacation, and then yeah, it was like a week between the grinding episode and End of the World episode 1. Like I didn't play any games at all. I just kind of chilled in a bed, you know, went swimming on the beach and stuff like that. So it's good to get back to like the basics, and I feel really refreshed on the game. I'm not sure if it shows in the display, but compared to where I was, I feel in really good shape. Like I'm doing a lot better against the Heartless and things like that, because I'm really thinking about their movements and stuff. Versus when I get in that game mode, you know, sometimes I just want to complete the Let's Play, which is something I fear for the Nuzlocke moving forward. Because, you know, Nuzlocke really requires all your mental attention. And I think in sake of building content, that's going to be quite challenging. But here's another soda pop. And there's my problem, folks. Is when I have one soda pop, I tend to have like, I don't know, 15. You know, it doesn't end after 3. Let's go here. We only have a few more worlds left. And I don't think Monstro is considered a world here, so... No, this one's a nightmare. But we do find, like, one of the coolest items we could find in the game. And I'm sure Donald has an equivalent. But I couldn't find it. It might be hidden somewhere else, but I know Goofy's is hidden here. His, like, Ultima weapon. Outside of his actual Ultima weapon that we can build is hidden here. That closes behind me. We have to kill a couple grunts in here. Nothing out of this world. Like I said, they'll get a strike in here and there, but overall they're really not that hard to deal with. These guys are pretty basic. We can't go into any of those. Can't go up there. I don't think so. Nope. Let's go over here. There's the chest. So we can exit after we get this chest, realistically, but it's the Mighty Shield. Which, if we look at the stats on this thing, holy shit, 39 to 45? That is ridiculous. Yeah, Goofy's stats just rose substantially in a matter of seconds. And I mean, look at his HP and stuff like that. Like, Goofy is by far our best companion. And I know I've been shitty to Donald throughout the Let's Play, because Donald is notoriously just really bad in Kingdom Hearts 1, but, I mean, he just got knocked down, not a peg. He got knocked down like a fucking floor. Like, that is tremendous. It's gonna take a lot to bring Donald up to that level. I mean, look at Goofy's HP. It's even substantially higher than ours. Now, given our MP is higher, and probably our overall strength and every other stat, but his HP is... whew! That's a force to be reckoned with right there. Goofy's gonna survive a shitload that's thrown at him. You can see I really scanned through these rooms in this world, because I keep thinking maybe Donald's Ultima weapon is hidden here, but I don't find it. I might search it up, and if I can find it, maybe we'll get it before the end of the final episode here, but I highly doubt it. It's 100 Acre Wood. Get that right there. Mega Elixir, very nice. That's something Sword could greatly use. Let's save here. I try to cut out all of my saving points, but I mean, here it's right before the end, so want to leave a little bit of that in. Let's go this way. Here's down to hell. So this is the Hollow Bastion area. And Hollow Bastion has a lot of secrets in it that we'll see in Kingdom Hearts 2 and all of our other Let's Plays, to be brutally honest. There is a shitload going on in Hollow Bastion. I'm not going to give too much of the story away right now. But there's a ton of story-related stuff that comes out of Hollow Bastion, like moving forward. It comes back as like one of the most prominent worlds in the series. It's called various names and things like that, but here we get a little bit of excerpt from this machine. Feel free to pause and read it. I just sort of skim through it. I mean, I'm reading it, but not really reading it. It's sort of just notes from Ansem about everything going on. Then we get bombarded with two heartless guys. Because of course we do, right? And I do have to say, I think Wind is like the definitive, one of the best MP calls you can call. I think other than Cure, Wind is number 2. It deals damage and reduces the amount of damage I take at the same point in time. Like, it is a substantial difference in battle. Like, there's no if, ands, or buts about it. I think Wind is definitively one of the best things you can add to your player. Like, it truly is. And I'm sorry here if you hear the Husky Pup. Hello, Husky Pup. Sorry if you could hear in the distance. You know, she's just wanting to play a lot, and you know, to be brutally honest, it's just a little bit hot in our area, so she's experiencing that for the first time, so helping her get through it, wetting her coat and stuff like that. And here we go up against the fucking devil himself. He's from Fantasia. I forget his name. It's like Chernobog or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. But here he comes. And this is where I'm talking about. If you know how to play the system, you could beat him in no time. He looks so imposing. Let's just whack at him. Stay over here, stay out of the fire, get behind his head. Get wind on myself so that way I'm continuously doing damage even when I'm not doing damage. Take that little bit of damage there. But watch his HP bar. Just keep an eye on that. And keep in mind how long we've been in this battle. We as a team are completely decimating him. He hasn't even gotten the ability to, like, do any of his abilities. Like, not a single one. There, we got one. And I'm so confident that I'm just disregarding anything that he's throwing out right now because it's too late. Like, he's done. So there's Average Joe versus the actual devil, Satan, however you wish to refer to him as. It's so bad when you have the knowledge and the abilities that we have now and just know that, like, that's the way to go about it. I remember even when I was like 17, 18, that took me 20, 30 minutes just in that battle alone. Like, now we just blow through it like it's nothing. And it took zero effort to do that. I just spammed A and spammed X, which is my quick select for magic on Wind. That was it. That's all I did. All you have to do is hit Wind, apply to every party member, and just slam into him. And just keep hitting him. And he will go down quicker than a freaking bag of bricks. He stands zero chance in that battle. If anything, I really feel bad for him. Here we go down this way. And we could go down either way. Both locations. Goes to the same end here. Regardless of which way you go down, you get to the same location. It doesn't make a difference. I don't even know why I included this part in here, because it is bullshit. But I included it in just to prove my point, I guess. At this point, when I was doing the actual playthrough, I was looking for a save state. I just wanted to save, make sure I didn't miss any items, and see, yeah, like I said, if there was a save location, because a save location would be nice at this point, you know, based on how long my average videos go. That's what I was kind of banking on, is that, like, this video is a little bit longer than what I typically post, so I was trying to save any 30+ minute videos for the end of the game, but I guess we'll just have to deal with it. Yeah, they both lead to this room, so, you know, I apologize for that, but it is what it is. And there's no save states before this, so it's not like I'm really hosing you guys out of anything here. I can't physically skip it. There you go. The behemoth spawns in, which we've dealt with 2 or 3 of them at this point. They're not difficult, and we know exactly how to deal with them. They're just more of a pain in the ass to work around their dynamic and get knocked off and things like that. So, yeah, it's more of a nuisance than anything else. And now that we know how to deal with said nuisance, not a big deal. Hopefully the puppy isn't making too much noise. She's, I don't know, throwing a fit about her father, I guess, today. She's a character. But we appreciate having her around. There you go. You typically don't get much of me speaking to the puppy and things like that in the video, so I felt that was warranted and justified. Okay, let's get hit with thunder here. And then let's just knock him out of this world, kill him, get that good old EXP boost. And then a piece of this heart should fall. Yep. And as we beat more Heartless in this room, more pieces of that heart should fall. There's a lot of Heartless. This is like it's kind of shaping us up for the battle here at the end of the world. So if you're not ready for this, like if you have to use all your items and stuff like that, you're probably not in good shape for the end game. If you can get through this no problem, you're in good shape. Because the end of the game boss is just like this, but there's only one of them instead of all these guys. But it's the same level of bullshit. That's how I view it, at least. You know, if you can make your way through this without having to do excessive heals or anything like that, you're fine. You should be able to beat a battle Ansem. No problem. But if you're struggling here and you can barely make it through this, you're gonna struggle a lot with Ansem. Here's these guys. These bullshit little things. When they put down their wings, it's honestly a pretty good time to give yourself a win. Like I do there. Like, that's the ample time to do it. And you can see I'm pretty good at, like, gauging my health bar now, like, knowing how much damage they could do per attack. Which I think is, like, a pretty big deal. I think it's very underestimated. Like, how much damage one can do while you're in that heal state, because a lot of the enemies at this point in the game can do over 1/4 damage to your health bar. So you just have to be made well aware of that. Otherwise, the likelihood of you being screwed here at the last moment is pretty high. It's not... soda pop there. It's not something that's to be taken lightly. I just can't admit, I've had 3 soda pops in the course of recording this 30-minute video. That is crazy. But, I don't know. To hell with it, I guess. You can see that heart there in the distance, or whatever it is, the Heartless emblem, is slowly dissipating. So we're close to the end here. See, our companions aren't hanging along just great. But we're doing pretty solid. And by not hanging along just great, I mean, they're doing fine. But they're running low on magic and stuff like that. Like, it's gonna be only a matter of minutes before they get wiped out. But that's to be expected of our teammates, right? Like, when they run out of items, they don't know what to do and they just run into battle. They don't understand computer AI. So... you know, it's almost to be expected that they're gonna struggle in fights like this. And even the final boss battle against Ansem here, they're gonna struggle. because they're just going to continuously try to attack. So they'll fall for traps and things like that, but at the end of the day, they get us, we can see from this battle, they get us far enough. Right? They've been going on for quite a bit here. Just attacking enemies head-on that you should not attack head-on. Which is why you can see I'm using my lock pretty loosely here. Like, I'm not really locking onto one enemy at a time. I'm gauging, like, where they are in their sequence, and then going off of that. And continuously applying wind and cures throughout the fight. That is the way to beat all these enemies at the end of the game. You need to really strategize over, like, what you have, what you don't have, and what you can apply. You know, if somebody's locked up like that, just move on to another enemy. That's really the nuts and bolts of how to get through the end of the game here. Just know what you can do, know what you can't do, and utilize your fullest potentials when you can. There's nothing else to the end of this game. You can see even here, Goofy's almost dead. Goofy's dead now, and Donald has been dead for a little bit. And I'm still not struggling to go up against all these Heartless one-on-one. It's still not a big deal. But it's just because they don't know... Like, they don't understand computer AI the same way that we can understand it. Now they both got some health. So I'm going a little bit more loosey-goosey. Which means I can apply that extra wind and heal to myself and not have to worry about it. And they're both dead already. That's terrific. But we're still hanging in there. We're still doing a really good job. That's really what it comes down to, is as long as we understand the logic, I'm not concerned in the slightest. But with that being said here, ladies and gentlemen, it is about a minute away from the finale. We finally unlock that crevice and we can go on to the final section of this world. I hope you all appreciated this episode. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, and even consider subscribing, because all that junk is free. I know this was a bit of a rambly episode, like I said. Had one too many soda pops, and was also enjoying myself to the fullest. But yeah, I hope to see you here on the next episode, which will be the finale of this episode, and then the next Let's Play, which will be Pokemon Leaf Green, a Nuzlocke. Walking through that. That should be really exciting, because I've never done one of those before. So, yeah, everybody take it easy, and we'll see y'all here on the next one. If we don't, you know, it is what it is, but take it easy, everybody. See you on the next one. Peace out, and, yeah, hopefully we beat Ansem with 0 difficulty.